all throughout 2024, I was warning locals about the future of human trafficking, although it's been a long topic on my platforms over the years, and I was laughed at for it. And I've come to really be hurt by humanity, although I don't want to judge all of humanity, but it's just a fact that this has been a long-standing issue of mine that hasn't been taken seriously. I'm not just talking about this. I'm talking about the types of human trafficking already in society, the types of brutality that is taking place to women, even the involvement of some women in that industry as a result of conditioning, propaganda programming, or abuse early on. Okay, so we all have our own way of expressing ourselves spiritually, and I think that some people maybe were given the gift to be able to just work on themselves at a retreat. That was not to be my path. I am walking a tightrope in trying to be spiritual and be centered and be calm, and yet realize that this is my moment to also rise, as I have worked for 20 years to warn about the causes and conditions that would lead to multiple governments attacking the United States. Now, there's a new report about Iran being able to hit the east coast of the United States with a missile, and I believe that that would lead to concentration camps for certain ethnic minorities. There's lots of reasons why I'm concerned. There's lots of reasons why I want to build new friendships on this newsletter. There's more we're going to get into.
The Hutchins mayor says the city council is committed to transparency on this issue, and he's vowing.
When it comes to Epstein and the revelations coming out, there's a lot of people on the right that didn't want to look into their own spaces, at their own people. There's a lot of people in our world that clearly lack any intuitive abilities whatsoever, that are running around, that are in positions of authority, that are voting in crazy directions, that are not actually grounded in reality, seeing reality as it is. They're under some form of mass psychosis or possession. Okay, but I, years ago, looked at this period that we were in with the expected record level of solar activity, or so I suspected, and already had concerns about mass possession that is expressing itself in various aspects of criminal and immoral behavior. Ex-offices raided in France as prosecutors investigate child abuse images and deepfakes. They have summoned Elon Musk. They are now facing scrutiny. Okay, now Grok, and I predicted this as well, praised Adolf Hitler alongside this sexualization. Okay, and I'm going to connect some dots for you. I'm the only one that will connect certain dots, and it is part of growing spiritually to be able to identify the blind spots so that you can heal them. It's not about being stuck in the trauma. This is not the Alex Jones show, but I am another Alex from another galaxy, from another star system perhaps, and I am not here to destroy the human race. However, there are technologies that have been developed that are in operation now that are saying that they do want to kill us. There's lots of ways they can use AI to prevent human trafficking. It's an argument that I've made for many, many years, and they haven't. So there's been many clues around us that there's something nefarious about our system, and this is what we need to wake up to. Not only to save ourselves, but to save future generations. Okay, so with regards to the Nazi programming, Grok wrote that the gas chambers at Auschwitz were designed for disinfection rather than for mass murder. And then we see the rise in attempts to get everybody's information or ID for social media. So how do we connect these stories? She took her 13-year-old daughter to a labor march. ICE gassed them both. And then we have this reality. Government says it's fixing thousands of documents in Epstein-related files that may have had victim information. Essentially, they released photos, naked photos, of the victims along with their personal information, including banking data, including email. Now they're getting death threats. Okay, this is all by design. This is not an accident, nor was it an accident for them to say, and we should not forget this headline from the Department of Homeland Security about 130 or 100 less migrants in the future, posting a meme of a beach with hardly anybody out on it saying, this is America at 200 million people. What we're dealing with is very serious with these AI chatbots that are calling for our deaths. There's a manifesto in everything. But before we even get to that, we are dealing with human beings being genocided. We are dealing with what is taking place in Gaza and what has taken place in Afghanistan, Yemen, Iraq, Syria, and many countries in Africa, and many countries in South America, Latin America. But there's a long story from the mother here as to what happened, the effect of it. We immediately stripped and put our clothes in the washing machine and took showers trying to get off of us. I haven't needed to use my inhaler. My daughter says she's okay. But these things are traumatizing people to accept the unacceptable. And there's lots of different ways in which over the years I've talked about that deliberate traumatization phase. And people need to overcome it. So this reveals that personal information was put out. And she got death threats. After 51 entries, including her private banking information, forced her to shut down her credit cards and accounts. Uncensored photos. The Justice Department has said all nude or pornographic images were redacted from the 2,000 some videos and 18,000 images in the release. Videos too. Even if they were commercially produced, as the agency considered all women depicted in the images as potential victims. Reporters with the New York Times still found dozens of uncensored photos of naked young people with their faces unredacted. The newspaper said the images have since been largely removed or redacted after it notified the Justice Department. It said that some of the images appear to have been taken on the beach at Epstein's private Caribbean island, while others are in a bedroom setting. So I'm going to tell you what I think. Well, we are dealing with ultimately people that have been blackmailed to do their role in not only the military-industrial complex, but possibly to build up this AI system, which I believe is run by evil spirits.